Okay, so this is the first question you had about the subjective grading of the short answer. So I actually have a quiz that my kids are working on right now, and I do actually have some responses to take a look at. So they're turning this in this week. So I'm going to just go to it like I would go to score it. Let's say everybody's done, and I have my results page here. First of all, let's go back to set up a short answer question. You go to your questions tab and it's one of your choices, and it's very easy. It's literally just a box and you type your question in there. I like to make the font a little bit bigger because it defaults like to 11 or something like that, and it's so small. But it's just a box to type your question in, and then you can assign whatever point value you want to it. So setting up the question is very easy, but scoring it, there's a little bit of a trick that I have found that makes it faster. So basically, these are my questions here, 6-question quiz that I've set up, and I have a mix, as you can see, of short answer and multiple choice. So like my first question is short answer, my second question is multiple choice. So any kids who've already taken it, so let's take a look at those. Any kids who've already taken it, all those multiple choice questions are already done. They're banked in here, and I don't have to mess with those. But I do have to score my short answer questions. And when you're on the results tab here, it defaults to view by student. And that's just a little bit more time consuming, because what you actually would have to do to manually score is to go to view attempts, and you would have to go to view edit, and you would have to go back to each individual student to do that. So what I always do is I wait until after the deadline when I have as many responses as possible, and then click on view by question. Now what view by question does then is it pulls up all of my questions and it tells me which one is which here. So I can ignore all the multiple choice or true false questions. Those have already been graded by Schoology. But I have to go in and I have to manually score the short answer questions. So I have my first one here. Now, once I go to view by question, I'm going to go to view responses. And what it will do now is it will bring up every student's response for that one question. So instead of going back to each student, I can go ahead and I can pop in a score for everyone here at the same time. So basically, this is a 3-part question. So I'm going to give this one a 3. I'm going to give this one a 3. This guy only has one part of it correct. And once I get finished scoring all these, all I have to do is go down here and click Save Changes. Now that's one of those things you don't want to forget to do, because it's not going to save it if you do. But once you do, these scores will then be calculated. I didn't save it because I don't want to score those right now, but then it will eventually pop up here, the final score. So it will calculate them for you once you put in that grade. Now I have 2 short answer questions, so I'd actually have to go back in and I would go back to my second short answer, view responses, and then I'm going to plug in the point for their answer to that question. So if you just have one, of course, you'd only have to do that one time. But basically, the key is to do view by question, and that just will really help you from having to click around student by student. And again, that's why I wait until after the final deadline, Sunday night. Monday morning is usually when I do the grading, and that way I have as many, as possible. And obviously, I'm gonna have to go back and catch up with the stragglers, which we know is something that we're doing. But this is definitely an easier way when you have a bulk of submissions to grade all at one time.